So how do you effectively communicate with inmates inside of a prison? This is something that can be very challenging as a newer officer, but as you grow throughout your career, you can see how valuable verbal judo can actually be. And as you promote through your career, you're going to see that verbal judo is something we do every day. But as a newer officer, guys, this is something that can be challenging because you're dealing with so many different types of inmates. You're not sitting in an office, you're not sitting on a yard, you're probably in an ad-sig type of setting, or you're probably in a housing unit with 200-300 inmates. It's a lot of different personalities. So if you have a situation to where an inmate is getting aggressive or refusing to lock up or whatever your case is, the first thing I like to do is I run my hands through my belt to make sure I'm good. I make sure my alarm's good, my pepper spray's good, my radio's good, it's not dead, and I look up at my control booth so that way he knows where I'm going and he has eyes on me. And I always keep my partner with me. We'll approach him together. One thing I've seen a lot is when you approach an inmate head on, he feels like you're challenging him. So when I approach an inmate, I usually approach him from the side. It just comes off less aggressive. And two, never start here with an inmate. If he's upset and agitated about something, in my opinion, your job as an officer is to try to figure out how to de-escalate that situation. So if he's motherfucking you or cussing you out, approach him to the side and say, hey, what's going on, man? What do we got going on? If you're in a situation to where you're around a lot of inmates, it's best practice that you pull him to the side or you pull him into an area where he doesn't feel like a lot of people are watching him. Now, if this is a general population inmate, that's not going to happen because they need to be with somebody, especially if they're going to talk to an officer. That's just politics. But if you're working a non-designated area or S&Y area or whatever you guys call it, try to pull him to an area where you can effectively talk to him and listen to him. So one, I ask him what's going on and what the problem is. Hear him out. Let him vent what he has to say. And two, if you can actually do something about it within policy without actually being weak, then do it. If you need to look into something for him, do it. That's your job as an officer to make sure these guys are good. Three, if you can't do anything about it or he's trying to game you, simply tell him no. Because every inmate is watching how you're carrying yourself and how you're going to deal with that situation. So if this inmate acts up and you give in to him, you just let every inmate in that unit know that's all they have to do to get what they want out of you. And that's going to make your job a whole lot harder as an officer, especially every day you're going back to work. You're going to burn yourself out way faster than you need to. And then you're going to put other officers in a situation they don't need to be involved in when they're trying to do their job. So I highly recommend not to do that. One, I approach him from the side. Two, I listen to what he has to say and I see what I can do as an officer to assist him with what he has going on. And three, if I can't do anything about it, I never leave it empty-handed. I'll tell him I'll follow up on it. I'll check with the supervisor. If you can't do anything, then you need to simply tell him, hey, that's a no. Hey, I'm not looking into that. That's not my area. But give him a direct answer. No inmate wants to be left with hope or you're going to do something you don't follow through. If you say you're going to do something, you got to understand when they say this in prison, your word means a lot. And if you're the kind of guy or girl that you don't keep your word, you're not going to have any respect. So you need to understand if something as simple as communicating with the inmate, telling him you're going to check on something that is you can actually do, and you following through with it, you just earn a lot more respect than you think. Not just from that inmate, but whoever he associates with, because they know what kind of officer you are. If you're working an ADSEG setting and you have an inmate trying to game you for something and you simply just give in, that's just going to cause a lot more issues than you really need to as an officer. The next day it's going to be a lot more frustrating for you. The next week it's going to be even harder for you. The next month you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys doing the same thing. If I see an inmate game you over something and I'm sitting in a cell, I know that's all I have to do to get what I want out of you. But if you hold your mud and you tell him no, and he wants to act up and do whatever he has to do, and maybe you have to follow through with the whole extraction, that's fine. You set the tone for your area and you eliminate all of those future issues that could have happened. You work hard now so that way you can relax later is how I like to put it. But communicating with inmates is something you need to work at every day. For me as a supervisor, I always approach him in a respectful manner. I always approach him in a calm manner. And I listen to what he has to say. And if I can help him out, I'll help him out. But if he's trying to game me or my officers, with all due respect, and I always tell him that, it's not going to happen. So whatever it is you need to do, handle your business. That's fine. We're there for a reason. But I'm not going to give you something you don't have coming. That's my job. It's what I get paid to do. Understanding how to communicate, guys, is a very valuable tool. It's something that we work on every day, and the better you get with it, the more situations you're going to burn out, the more situations you're going to be able to help and to de-escalate stuff with, and it's just going to make you look better as an officer. It's going to make you more respected, and it's going to make your job a whole lot easier. And I know there's a lot of ways that you guys deal with stuff, and I know there's a lot of different type of areas. So if you guys have some feedback, I'd appreciate it if you can drop a comment. Thank you, guys. I'm Alex Duran.